half is underway, and controlling the ball is Long Island University. With it on the right side is Seymour Elaine. Elaine sends it right around the middle for Gustavo Gonzalez, almost stripped away by Pedro DeBrito, but he gets a pass on the left side for Kerry Babb. Babb controlling it right around midfield. Pass on the right side to Elaine again. Elaine looking to get around Carlos. Carlos passes over to teammate Marquez on the right sideline, right in front of his own bench. Chips it in on the right side. They've been controlling the ball with some nice passes. Right side, Paglioni controls the ball. Ball goes up in the air now. No one controlling it. Finally being settled down by Amador Carvalho. Carvalho loses it to Carlos. The ball now looses. Carlos tripped up from the behind, and Carvalho comes right back with it. Carvalho into the middle, looking for Norman Murray. Has Murray, but kicked away by the Huskies and controlled by Pedro DeBrito. Just starting off here in the second half, it's Connecticut 2, Long Island 0. Pedro DeBrito sends the ball deep into the Long Island zone, but there's no Husky there to gather it in. And on the far sideline, Kerry Babb of Trinidad, a senior, comes up with the ball. 5 players hail from Trinidad, 4 from Ecuador. On this team that does not have one United States of America representative. They're all living in the U.S. right now, but none of them were born in the U.S. A lot of, as Mark said earlier, the melting pot of the world. USSR, Cyprus, Trinidad, Scotland, Colombia, Brazil, they're from all over the place. And Adam Laurie, who has the ball right now from Scotland. Laurie sending up on the right side over to Paglioni. Paglioni gets around. John Brubaker now streaking towards the goal on the right sideline. Paglioni, 1-on-2, sending a centering pass in front. Looking for Marquez. Marquez trips himself in the penalty area. And coming away with the ball is Tim Maisley. So a trip on the player there had a nice chance to put the ball on towards goal. And the Huskies come away with the ball. The ball now kicked out of bounds on the far sideline. And Charlie McSpiritt will take the throw-in. Now they're going to say no. Last touch by UConn, and the throw-in is going to be taken by George Turos, the leading scorer of the team, brother of goalkeeper Andy Turos. He, one of the co-captains, very accurate shot from up close, but he missed earlier in the first half when he had that opportunity. Right now, the Huskies are going to take the throw into the far sideline as the ball goes out of bounds, and again it goes out of bounds, headed away by Kerry Babb. So the Huskies now moving up the field via the sideline throws, and this time it's going to be Jimmy Lyman throwing the ball in, and again it's kicked out of bounds by Kerry Babb, and again the Huskies will move up about 10 or 15 feet and take another throw-in. Lyman again, right sideline, gets it over to Elvis Comrie. Comrie in the middle to Cornolo, headed away by Elaine. Ball now bouncing around loosely right around the middle of the field, and coming up and away with it, it's Mauro Paglioni. Paglioni on the right side going for a streaking teammate, but it's stripped away by John Brubaker. Both of them trip on the play, goes out of bounds, and now taking the throw in is going to be Marquez. Marquez throws the ball back to teammate Seymour Elaine. Elaine right around the middle of the field, centers it, but no one's there to take it away, and Charlie McSpiritt clears it right around the middle of the field, where it's headed back into play by Adam Laurie. Laurie has the ball right around the middle, and here come again Charlie McSpiritt. McSpiritt sends it downfield for Cornolo. Cornolo back passes over to Carlos, and the Huskies control the ball. Carlos on a crossfield pass is going for Elvis Comrie. Kerry Babb can't beat Comrie to the ball, and Comrie controlling it. Takes a one-touch pass looking for Eric Myron, and he goes over the touchline. On the far sideline, it's going to be a throw-in for the Blackbirds of Long Island. 41 minutes, 51 seconds to go here in the second half. Connecticut 2, Long Island 0. And this is Eric Myron with the ball on the right sideline. Myron pushing or being pushed, make that pushing Norman Murray. And it's going to be an infraction and a direct kick, and streaking for the ball on the right sideline is Long Island's number 8, George Turos. Turos has the ball run off him by Tim Maisley, and Maisley ends up kicking the ball out of bounds before any other Long Island player can get it. Corner kick on the far sideline. Turos is there along with Richard Chinapu, who really hasn't touched the ball at all in the second half. Let's see who's going to take that corner kick. Here's a kick taken by Turos. Sends a high lobber in front. Marquez gets a head on the ball, and Renehan's there to make the save. Renehan catches the ball, and coming in to crash the goalie is Norman Murray, looking to get up some rebound. Right now, Renehan has to watch out for Murray because he's coming up from the behind, looking to strip the ball from the backside. And this time, Renehan outs the ball with his powerful right arm past Graziano Cornolo. Goes out of bounds. A throw-in for Javier Marquez right in front of the Long Island bench. Marquez gets the ball into Paglioni. Paglioni on the right sideline going one-on-one. Cornolo sending it in front, but he goes behind the net. As right there to cut off the angle is Jimmy Renehan. 40 minutes, 44 seconds to go here in the second half. Connecticut 2 in Long Island 0. Connecticut will take the goal kick. It'll be Charlie McSpiritt. This is the most goals scored off Andy Turos. As we said earlier, Fairleigh Dickinson had 2 goals in the second game of the season, but only 11 goals on the whole year was put it past nets for opponents against Long Island. Carlos on the breakaway sends it in the middle of the field for Graziano Cornolo. Cornolo trying to get around player. He does so in the middle. He was tripped. A whistle, and they're going to call a tripping violation about 3 or 4 yards outside the penalty area, right around entering the attacking third of the field, right in the middle.
And Graz Cornolo was upended by Kerry Babb. The Huskies with a direct kick about 30 yards off from the net, about 5 yards short of the penalty area.
And looking to take it is either DeBrito or McSpiritt. There's a set-up play with a 4-man Long Island wall. Clock running down 39:54. Set-up play along the wall is going to be Graziano Cornolo. Let's see what the Huskies are going to do. Here's Pedro DeBrito. Shot on goal, and it's a save. No shot, score! Comrie! Turles made the save, but he couldn't hold on to it. Comrie put it in. The Huskies are leading this contest 3-0, and they're getting set to go to sunny California. Elvis Comrie putting in the rebound with 39 minutes and 42 seconds. That's the 5:18 mark. Huskies taking this lead 3-0, and Comrie coming in with the clutch. 1 goal and 2 assists for today. The game's not over, but the Huskies have that commanding lead. And as I was going to say a little bit earlier, Long Island only allowing 11 goals all season. They shut out their opponents 10 times, but the Huskies have found that net time and time again. Turles made a beautiful save off DeBrito's blast, but he couldn't hold that rebound, and coming into deposit in the back of the net was Comrie. And right now a player down in the middle of the field, I believe Maroney, was tripped by Paglioni, and here's a yellow card for Paglioni. Paglioni saying he didn't do it on purpose, but Maroney did end up going down. And the card was quickly issued by the referees because they do not want this game to get out of control too early. So Comrie from DeBrito at 5:18 for Comrie, his 13th goal of the season. DeBrito comes up with his 18th assist, as that's who they're going to credit him with. That's who they're going to credit with the assist. And Charlie McSpiritt, right around the middle of the field, is going to take the direct kick. McSpiritt, left side over to Carlos. Carlos tries to chip it down, but it's knocked off the leg of Seymour Elaine. Ball goes out of bounds. Huskies will take the throw-in. And the ball is controlled by Long Island. Taking it is Elaine one more time. Elaine sending it downfield, but it goes out of bounds. And the Huskies are going to take another throw right in front of their own bench. Carlos gets it into Maroney. Maroney chipping it into the area. And Turles coming out like lightning to make that save. Outlets it on the left side. They're 3 goals down, and it's going to be Norman Murray coming up the middle of the field. This is Norman Murray. Almost has the ball stolen by Graziano Cornolo. Sends it back to a teammate. That's Gustavo Gonzalez, who is a stopper back for the Long Island team. Ball now going over to Adam Laurie. Laurie controlling it on the right sideline. Laurie, right side, up to Mauro Paglioni. Paglioni just getting that first yellow card of the game, now being badgered there by John Brubaker and Elvis Comrie. Almost stolen away, but coming up with it is Seymour Elaine, and controlling it is Long Island University. This is Elaine. Elaine has it stripped away by Charlie McSpiritt. McSpiritt coming back the other way. Gets it over to Pedro DeBrito, but intercepted there by George Turles. Turles sends it all the way back to teammate Gustavo Gonzalez, who passes back to goalie Andy Turles. The Huskies putting on the pressure on the defense. As we said, they've only taken, I believe, 5 shots on goal now, when they put 3 of them in, or make that 6 shots on goal.
And Harold, there's a rare sight. Charlie McSpiritt, all the way up from the sweeper back position, was up marking goalie Andy Turles. So you can tell that you have some excited, very psyched up players out there. And one of them, Charlie McSpiritt, who knows if they lost today that would be his last game as a Husky.
And right now the Huskies looking for the first time ever to take that trip to the Final Four. They were number 1 nationally in 1948, but that was before the tournament really came about. And they're looking to see what they could do in the tournament. Last year they were supposed to go to the Final Four, but an upset victory versus Hartwick right around this time of the year up in Hartwick stopped them from doing that one. And right now the Huskies, who were not supposed to have this good of a year, they lost some of their best players that ever donned a UConn Husky uniform. Now right around midfield, Amador Carvalho streaking down, passing the right side over to Paglioni. Here comes Long Island. Paglioni has to get around McSpiritt, right sideline, sends a shot, and Renehan's there to make the save. Renehan quickly outlets it, getting it down to Elvis Comrie. See if the Huskies can beat Long Island back on a transition, but Comrie fans on the ball, and Adam Laurie comes away with the steal. Laurie on the right sideline, sending a pass in the middle for Javier Marquez. Marquez now chips it in on the left side for George Turles, and Turles passes over to teammate Norman Murray. Murray coming right down the middle of the field, can't control the ball as there's 4 Huskies there, and it's cleared away by Brubaker. Brubaker sends it over the head of Adam Laurie, and this is Elvis Comrie with it on the left sideline. Comrie, now being hampered by 2 Long Island players, passes it back to Graziano Cornolo, who gets it right around the middle of the field to Billy Maroney, and Maroney now going right along that midfield stripe, pass on the right sideline over to Jimmy Lyman. Lyman gets it back up to Billy Maroney. Foot race between Maroney and Babb. Maroney gets there, but Babb kicks it out of bounds. 36-46 to go here in the second half. Connecticut 3, Long Island 0. Kind of a surprise. It's been a blowout. And the Huskies are going to have a throw-in on the far side. It's going to be taken by Jimmy Lyman. Huskies have been outshot in the first half, 11-4, but they took the 2-0 lead. And now we're having a referee talking to a few of the Long Island players about settling down their physicalness in this contest. So there's going to be some yellow cards being thrown. Thrown by Lyman, headed away by Long Island defense, controlled by, I believe, Seymour Elaine. and they're coming down the middle of the field. This is Long Island. This is Carvalho making. Carvalho takes a weak shot on goal. Renehan's there to make the easy save, and he quickly throws the ball on the left sideline for Carlos. And Carlos quickly gets past Elaine, sends it right around the middle of the field where it's kept in the territory by Adam Laurie. Laurie on the left side looking for Carvalho, but Charlie McSpiritt outraces him to the ball, sends it back to Jimmy Renehan, and Connecticut will take control of the ball one more time. The winner of this contest plays Eastern Illinois in Stanford, California next weekend, December 5th and 6th, the Final Four of the NCAA soccer tournament. As we know, Connecticut already has one number one national ranked team in the country, the field hockey team, last weekend here on WHUS. The women's team defeating Massachusetts soundly 4-1 in a very close battle, except for the scoreboard. And, of course, the women's soccer team finishing number 3 in the country. So a lot of top-notch teams in the country. The only from UCONN in the country. The only big letdown was the Connecticut football team. It had to put a lot of injuries and marring their 4-7 record. Right now, Long Island controlling the ball, almost stolen there by Tim Maisel, but coming up with it is Armador Carvalho. Carvalho sliding the ball over, looking for teammate Paglioni, almost stolen by the Huskies, still controlled by Long Island. Coming away with it is Seymour Elaine. Elaine right around the middle of the field, trying to get around Jimmy Lyman, but Lyman sticking with him foot for foot. Elaine now on the left sideline, still controlling the ball. Lyman still sticking with him, and he's now looking to see if he can send it in the middle. Sends one in the middle, and Myron clears the ball away very easily. Goes all the way out to the middle of the field, trying to be settled down by George Turros. Turros can't control it, and almost picked off by Carlos. Ball now loose on the ground, and Elvis Comrie's going to come away with it. Comrie now on the right sideline, slowing things down considerably. Pass on the right side, going for a speeding Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito and Gonzalez racing for the ball, and coming away with it is Adam Laurie, who came out of nowhere. The ball sent all the way back to Andy Turros, the goalie. 34:28 to go. That's about all the times left, and if the Huskies can hold off for 34 minutes and 28 seconds, they're going to be taking another plane ride out to California, and they're going to be seeing if they can be the national champions. Right now, controlling the ball, Javier Marquez. Marquez now going one-on-one with Graziano Cornolo. Chips it over to Seymour Elaine. Elaine now being run up from behind by Billy Maroney, but quickly gets the pass off by Kerry Babb before it can be stolen. Babb back to Richard Chinapoo, who we have not heard of at all. But now Chinapoo takes a long pass on the right sideline for Marquez. Marquez controlling the ball, but right with him is Cornolo, and Cornolo steals the ball away. And as I was going to say, Chinapoo is an All-American ball player. This is his 4th year being an All-American. We haven't heard from him at all here in the second half, and that's quite amazing. Taking the throw-in, Gustavo Gonzalez gets it into Mauro Paglioni. Paglioni controlling the ball, kicked away by Graziano Cornolo, all the way to the foot of Norman Murray, who sends the ball out of bounds. Let's see who's going to be last touched off. Yes, Murray was the last person to touch it. Huskies with the throw-in on the near sideline, and it's going to be taken by John Brubacher. Brubacher, wearing number 4 as he has been doing all season, a transfer from University of Rhode Island, throws it in to Seymour Elaine. Elaine right around the middle of the field, gets it back to Richard Chinapoo. Chinapoo now being badgered there by a couple of Huskies, gets around 3 Huskies, going towards the right side of the field, gets around Carlos. Carlos still controlling the ball in the middle of the field. Now he retreats, and he goes all the way back. He did not like what he saw, and he passes over to a teammate, number 9, Gustavo Gonzalez. Gonzalez, 6 foot, 170 pounds from New York. New York sends it into number 7, Paglioni. Shot on goal, chip to the right. Goes out of bounds. It'll be a goal kick for Huskies. Couple of substitutions. It'll be Jim Dorsano and Kieran Coffey checking in, and Graziano Cornolo and Billy Maroney taking a breather.
And right now, Coach Maroney out of the midfield area screaming instructions. He wants to take no chances as the Huskies lead this one 3-0, 32-39 as the clock ticks on. And the Huskies with a goal kick.
Cornolo from Comrie at 1:33. Sullivan from Comrie at 26:56. And Comrie from DeBrito at 5:18 in the second half. There you have it. Connecticut 3, Long Island 0. Javier Marquez controlling the ball. Right side. Gets a pass over to Paglioni. Now ball's up in the air. Stripped by the Huskies, and DeBrito bringing it back the other way. DeBrito left side to John Brubacher. That was who the pass was intended for. But stepping between those two was Gustavo Gonzalez. And he chips it back the other way. Pass intended for Norman Murray. But mysteriously Norman Murray's on the ground. And the Huskies come back with it the other way. This is Elvis Comrie. Comrie trying to get around George Turros. Retreats a little bit. Kicks it all the way back to Jimmy Renehan. And Renehan will start things up. 31 minutes, 56 seconds to go. Exciting action here at Gardner Dow. Might not be exciting to most of the fans here right now. There hasn't been much scoring lately, but with a 3-0 lead, this crowd is going to erupt towards the end of the game if the Huskies can hold up and keep this lead going. Right now on the right sideline on a breakaway is Paglioni. Paglioni now man for man with a Husky. Now he slows things up, gets it over to Seymour Elaine. Give and go to Paglioni in the penalty area. Chips one up. It's Byron heading the ball away. Now it's settled off Elaine's chest. Richard Chinapoo kicks it off the back of Jimmy Lyman. Left side coming in for it is George Turros. Centering pass. Shot on goal. kicked away by McSpiritt. It's still loose in front. Pedro DeBrito clears it away, and the Husky defense holds. Ball goes all the way down. George Churros has it. Sliding tackle away by Charlie McSpiritt, but he sends it all the way back to number 3, Kerry Babb, and now cleared away by Dorsanio. Huskies on the break the other way. This is Comrie right around midfield. Leaves it back for Dorsanio. Dorsanio, right sideline, looking to see what he can do. He gets around one Long Island player. Gets it back to Comrie. Comrie now has the ball stolen. Now Chinapoo comes up. Ball now loose. A whistle on the play. Let's see what we're going to have. They're going to call a play on, but I believe Dorsanio is hurt. Excuse me. Right now controlling the ball is Elaine, and Elaine's coming right down the middle of the field. 30 minutes, 46 seconds to go in the second half. The Husky defense has held as Long Island put probably their most pressure on Jim Renehan that they did all game. And they came away empty. And right now on the right sideline, it's Marquez. Marquez one-on-one with Carlos. Carlos going on the right sideline looking for Chinapoo. Gets it to Chinapoo. Chinapoo slides a pass right in front for Norman Murray. Murray back on the right side over for Marquez. Marquez is going to try to beat Carlos on the right sideline. Carlos falls down on the play. Marquez right around. And during the penalty area, pass over to Murray. Cleared away by the Huskies. Loose in front, and Renehan gobbles the ball up. So again, the ball is loose in front, playing like a pinball game. But right there to be the final stopper is Jimmy Renehan, and the Huskies take control of the ball.
A trio of Huskies getting set to check back in. Eddie Lynch, number 13, number 8, Billy Maroney, and number 9, Graziano Cornolo, as Carlos is up and walking and looks to be okay.
Ball is kicked all the way down to the middle of the field where Jim Dorsanio gets a head on it, but he's pushed from the behind by Kerry Babb. Connecticut will have a direct kick around 5 or 6 yards shy of the midfield area in the Long Island side of the field. Looking to set up that play is going to be Charlie McSpiritt. All 11 Huskies are on the offense right now in the Long Island Blackbird zone. The Blackbird mascot did come, but he can't be crowing too much. Or maybe he's eating crow as the Huskies are up 3-0. And here's McSpiritt taking a low liner right in front. Comrie just missing. The header goes through everybody, and he goes over the goal line. It's going to be a goal kick for Long Island.
We have 29-19, make that 50, and as the clock ticks on, after this soccer game, we will have the 6 seniors coming up to give us a little chat after our post-game wrap-up. And 3 Huskies checking out as 3 check in. Carlos, Elvis Comrie, and John Brubacher will take a seat. So stay tuned after that game, and we should have a post-game interview or two with you.
Okay, Connecticut controlling the ball as Long Island kicks it far and over the touchline. And the Huskies will have a throw-in right in front of their own bench. Timmy Maisley getting ready to take it. And now we have an official's timeout. Let's see what we're going to have. Is an official going all the way down to the near sideline. A couple of officials now talking things over. I don't believe they like what they saw. Now we're getting told there's 12 players on the field. I don't know for which team it is. Could be for the Connecticut Huskies. It is 12 players for UConn. They tried it once before. Carlos, a little bit earlier this year, was a 12th player, and he saved a shot on goal, I believe, by Alabama A&M. If that might be a little bit wrong. But what happened, I'm not sure exactly if that was the contest, but the Huskies had 12 men on the field, and when they made a spectacular save, no one did catch it. And now they're going to take that one person off the field. They're going to redo the goal kick, and LIU takes control of the ball. Controlling it right around the middle of the field, Gustavo Gonzalez in his own zone. Gonzalez on the left side coming up, passing it over to a teammate, Kerry Babb, and Babb looking for another one of his teammates, gets it to George Churros. Churros chips it all the way back in for Adam Laurie, and Laurie starting things up for the Long Island offense. Laurie on the right sideline looking for Pat Leone, but Pat Leone can't control the ball, sends the ball into the stands. It'll be a throw-in for the Huskies, and Eddie Lynch will be taking it. Lynch into Billy Maroney, and Maroney will start things up for the Connecticut White. Maroney sending the ball deep into the Long Island zone, where it's settled off the chest of Gustavo Gonzalez. Gonzalez now dribbling the ball around. 28:02 remaining here in the game. Gonzalez on the left side over for Kerry Babb, and Babb just saves the ball before it goes over the end touchline. And he's still controlling, gets by Comrie, gets it past Comrie, goes over to Seymour Elaine, and Elaine now dribbling the ball around, but he's quickly upended. The ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw-in for LIU, and the ball goes into number 13, Norman Murray. Murray sends it back to Chinapoo. Chinapoo now dribbling the ball around, almost hits a referee, but passes back over to Adam Laurie. Laurie lets the ball go through for Javier Marquez, and Marquez coming down the middle of the field, sends the ball in. He's still controlling the ball right around the penalty area, kicked away by McSpiritt, and cleared by Eric Myron. As Myron takes a spill, Adam Laurie has to retreat and get the ball right around the midfield line, and he sends it back to a teammate, number 9, Gustavo Gonzalez. So Gonzalez, who hails from Columbia, now living in New York, a senior, could be playing in his last contest, passes the ball up to teammate George Turro, stolen there by Kieran Coffey. Huskies controlling the ball. McSpiritt gets it all the way back to goalkeeper Jimmy Renehan. And Long Island is now in a very, very bad position. Right now, almost a steal in the play as Eddie Lynch almost had the ball stripped away from him. Ball goes out of bounds. Last touch by Paglioni. The Huskies will have the throw, and Paglioni almost made a beautiful strip of the ball and came away with an easy steal, but Lynch stayed with it and ended up kicking the ball or getting the ball towards the sideline where Paglioni got it out of bounds. 26-42, the Huskies have to hold that long or just let Long Island score 2 goals within that time period. That's all they can afford to do. They have that 3-goal lead. This game was supposed to be a very close one, but the Huskies really adapting very early and pretty psyched up coming off their 6-2 win over Vermont in the New England Championship last week. They're doing a fine job. They're leading this contest 3-0. Harold Darak along with Mark Boudreau and our engineer, Tom Bowen. And we're going to have an offsides, I believe, called on the University of Connecticut as the trap got to the Huskies. And Long Island's going to come back the other way with an indirect kick. Hi there. This year, Long Island's team record tied for the most shutouts with 11, set a record for most victories in the season 17. Their home record, 8 wins, no losses, and 2 ties. On the road, they're 9-1-1. Their only loss coming to Syracuse, a 1-0 loss up in at the artificial turf, the Carrier Dome. They're the Metro Conference champions with a record of 4-0, and they shut out all 4 of their opponents. Here's McSpiritt on the breakaway, right sideline looking for Dorsano, but coming up to make the steal is Chinapoo. And Chinapoo still controlling the ball, finally sending it back to Andy Turros, and they're going to start things up for about 120 yards back of their own goal. Chinapoo controlling the ball now. He has to contend with Billy Maroney. And Chinapoo again sends it back to Turros as Long Island really does not know what to do. They've been stymied everywhere, especially on the defense and especially on their offense. And Connecticut's offense really been finding the holes in the Long Island defenses. They have not taken many shots on goals, but those that they have taken have been on the mark. 3-0, and I believe they've only taken 6 or 7 shots on goal all contest.
Long Island coming in with that zone defense, Harold. It's supposed to collapse towards the middle, though. The Huskies were very good on countering with those long crossing passes, and it worked time and time again for them, especially on those corner kicks.
Cornolo has the ball stolen from Chinapoo. Chinapoo on a breakaway on the right sideline. Chinapoo looking for teammate Norman Murray. Shanks it off the side of his foot. Murray has to retreat to get it. Murray now one-on-one with Eric Byron as the Husky defense comes back. Murray goes towards the middle of the field, coming on, almost stolen by Maroney. Sends a centering pass, but right there to intercept it is Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito coming back the other way. DeBrito right sideline over to Jim Dorsano. Dorsano gets around one player. It's Kerry Babb, and he's streaking on the right sideline, but coming up to strip the ball away is Gustavo Gonzalez. Now we're going to have a whistle to play. They're going to say, no, the Huskies still control the ball. This is Dorsano. Dorsano right down the middle of the field. He's going by 2 or 3 players now, stripped away by Laurie. Still in play, and Seymour Lanes finally sends it back to Andy Turros. But what a play by Jim Dorsano as he stuck with the play for about 40 or 50 yards, and the crowd is receptive to that one.
And the fans appreciate the hustle by Jim Dorsano, and the Huskies are not giving up. And now it goes out of bounds, and LIU will have a throw-in on the far sideline.
Right now, Connecticut controlling the ball. This is Billy Maroney sending it back to Charlie McSpiritt. McSpiritt now slides it over for Billy Maroney one more time. Huskies controlling it in their own zone. Dribbling it back and forth, wasting some time. 23 minutes and 36 seconds. Maroney sends it back to Jim Renehan. Or I believe it was stolen there by Seymour Lane. The ball goes over the line. Last touch by Maroney. It's going to be a corner kick for the Long Island University team. Probably their brightest offensive try all day. Looking to quickly take it is Amador Carvalho. And the Huskies quickly retreating on the defense, trying to do something. A couple substitutions for Connecticut. We'll get to those later. Carvalho on the corner kick. Heading in front. Loose ball. And Renehan's there to make the save. As a shot on goal taken by Elaine. But Renehan was there as he dove towards his left. And another great play by the goalie for the University of Connecticut, who's probably playing one of his best games of his career. He has not been tested much, but every time there was a test, he was there to make it. And he is holding Long Island shut out by the score of 3-0. And the Huskies are now 22 minutes and 48 seconds away from being the regional champs and going down to make the trip to Stanford, California for the Final Four.
On that last check-in, John Brubacher checked in the lineup, and taking a seat on the bench was, I believe, Karen Coffey.
Right now, controlling the ball is number 10, Eric Byron, as he kicks the ball all the way down to the field where Andy Turros gets a hold of it. Turros, the goalkeeper, starts things up, gets it over to Adam Laurie. Laurie on the left side, passing over to Kerry Babb. Babb now, one-touch pass, gets it over to teammate George Turros. Turros now with controlling the ball, trying to get around a couple of Huskies. Husky defense now trying to collapse on Turos, but quickly he gets it all the way back to his brother Andy. And Andy will now start things up, and they're having some problems starting things up on the offense. A very potent attack, as we said a little bit earlier. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 players with 6 goals or more on the season, led by a couple of freshmen, Mauro Paglioni and Javier Marquez, but nothing going today for the Long Island team. They've had their chances, just could not put the ball in the net. They're controlling the ball right now.
Harold, last week at the soccer press conference, it was funny how Ramirez said via the telephone hookup that his team was very offensive-minded and that they didn't really think that much of defense. And then he later said to the Daily News that he didn't think the Huskies could play any defense, or he thought that they played rather poor and shoddy defense. And it's funny how those words came back to haunt him today. Sean Sullivan getting set to check in the Husky lineup. We have exactly 21-23 left on the clock. The Huskies lead this one 3-0.
3 goals by Connecticut, the most any opponent has ever scored on Long Island. They've only allowed 11 goals throughout all their contests, which was 21. So now let's make that 14 goals in 22 contests. Very disappointing showing right now for Coach Ramirez, who is in a similar situation to Coach Joe Maroney. This is the year that they had to do it. They're going so far. They've had the players. They had 8 returners from their starting lineup from last year. They only lost 4 seniors. This was the year, and right now they're not doing it. They're down by the score of 3-0. Marquez controlling the ball on the right sideline, chipping it into number 13, Norman Murray. Give and go back to Marquez. Ball now loose in front. It's Elvis Comrie coming up, but now ball loose still in front. Murray now with it, and coming away with it is Eric Byron. The Huskies bringing it back the other way. This is Cornolo. Cornolo trying to get around Marquez, whistling a play, a push by Marquez, and the Huskies will have a kick. Obstruction they're going to call on Marquez, so that'll make it an indirect kick, and the Huskies are taking their time starting this one up.
And right in front of us in the press box, Coach Maroney just gave final instructions to Timmy Maisley, who joins Sean Sullivan, getting set to check in at the next horn.
Huskies with a breakaway on the left sideline. This is Cornolo. Cornolo trying to get it into Carlos. Carlos gets around one Long Island player coming towards the middle of the field. Gets it to Carlos. Carlos right outside the penalty area. Chips in front over to Billy Maroney. Maroney in the area but cleared away nicely by number 3, Carrie Babb. Huskies still keeping it in. This is Brubacher sending it in. And Turos is there to make the save. A shot that was pretty much offline, but the Huskies trying to apply the pressure, and they've applied that pressure in spurts, pretty much taking Long Island and keeping them off stride as to when they're going to try to give the really pressured situation. Maroney now kicks the ball high up in the air, fanned on it by Adam Laurie, headed down by Carlos. Carlos over to Elvis Comrie. Comrie right inside the penalty area, trying to get around one Long Island player, does so towards the baseline, still controlling the ball, centering pass. No one's there to connect. Now here's Dorsanio, right sideline shot, and he goes wide to the right.
It hit the post to the right. And Jim Dorsanio had plenty of time to turn it around, Harold, but he couldn't put it home.
And coming out, Turos was trying to cut down the angle, and Dorsanio just kicked it off the post, wide to the right. And we're going to have a substitution now, but the Huskies almost giving them a 4-goal lead. Remember, in the springtime, the Huskies defeated this Long Island team at 3-0 in an exhibition game. And in that indoor tournament, Long Island came out with a 1-0 victory in overtime. I believe it went all the way to penalty kicks before they won it. So this is the best out of the 3, and this is the most important out of the 3, as the other 2 really didn't count. This is for all the marbles, a trip to the Final Four, and now controlling the ball is Long Island. Controlling it on the right side, Seymour Elaine. Elaine trying to go one-on-one with Tim Maisley, now going towards the middle of the field. Elaine now slides it over to Amador Carvalho. Carvalho now being marked by Charlie McSpiritt. Sends it into Richard Chinapoo. Chinapoo left side to Elaine. Elaine around one player, ball loose in front. Gets it back. Elaine still controlling it now. Chip in front. And a save by Murray. As the ball was chipped in front, a pass intended for Norman Murray.
The clearing pass by Billy Maroney was off the side of his foot, and it went almost as a shot on net. Jimmy Renehan being right there to make the save, and now the ball is cleared out.
And cleared away, and the Huskies trying to break it back the other way. This is Elvis Comrie, 2-on-3. Connecticut with the break. Goes toward the middle of the field. He's felled on the play. No whistle yet. And Richard Chinapoo taking the ball and bringing it back the other way. Our referee is limping on the field. I did not see if he fell down on a play. Marquez bringing it back the other way. Marquez right side to Paglioni. Paglioni sending a centering pass, and Carlos is there. Gets it off his foot. Murray's there. Shot by Chinapoo. And let me tell you, if that was a shot on goal, he was shooting for the far stands on the left side, because that was nowhere near the goal, as Long Island is down by 3-0, and they're having some problems. That referee, who is in the middle of the field, is really hurt. It's his right leg. The clock is stopped at 17:52, taking a goal kick and play back on. 17:48 to go here in the contest. And the ball goes all the way down towards the Long Island side of the field. Carrie Babb coming up with it. Babb sends it into the Husky zone, where Jimmy Lyman clears it back to the Blackbird zone. Ball bounces highly over one player. over Gustavo Gonzalez, and it goes all the way back to number 4, Adam Laurie, who just beats the ball back to goalkeeper Andy Turos. And Laurie coming up on the right sideline. As we said, Laurie from Scotland, controlling the ball, dribbling it past 2 Connecticut Huskies. Right sideline, sliding a pass over to Marquez. Marquez getting it back to Laurie. Laurie has the ball stripped away by Carlos. Now Carlos limping away. Now Chinapu comes away with the ball. Chinapu almost has the ball stripped. He's coming down the middle of the field. Shot on goal. He goes high. But Chinapu, 1-2-3 lightning, took a quick shot on goal, and it went just over the crossbar, as he pretty much marked in without any problem at all. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Connecticut Huskies.
Taking the goal kick for the Huskies will be Jimmy Renehan.
Taking the goal kick for the Huskies, Jimmy Renehan. And we're having a little bit of problems with a few of our microphones. And now they're going to say it's going to be a corner kick. So they're going to call it a corner kick now, as they're going to say it was last touched by a Connecticut player. And quickly taking the corner kick is George Turos. Turos out to Chinapu. Chinapu centering pass, headed up in the area, but it goes by everybody. A header by Gustavo Gonzalez goes wide to the right. And the Huskies send in Eric Myron for a replacement. Myron coming in for Billy Maroney.
Bill Maroney.
And Billy taking his gloves off and retreating towards the bench. Huskies with another goal kick. Clock running down, 16 minutes, 18 seconds away from Stanford, California. And here quickly taking that kick is Jimmy Lyman. Lyman sending it along the ground to Charlie McSpiritt. McSpiritt on the right sideline, deep in his own territory. Now coming down the middle, down the right sideline of the field, sends a chipper in the middle. And it's controlled there by Cornolo. Cornolo over to Eric Myron. Myron's trying to slide it over to Comrie. Kicked away by Marquez. And Marquez calling to his team, come on, let's go. Let's go on the offense. Quickly, the Huskies come back the other way. This is Myron. Myron over in front to Elvis Comrie. Comrie chips it on the left side. It's going to be a foot race between Cornolo and Marquez. Cornolo beats the ball to the corner, and Cornolo's going to try to go one-on-one. Cornolo controlling the ball. Marquez kicking the ball away. He goes over the sideline, over the end line. Last touch by Marquez, and the Huskies are going to have a throw-in deep in the Long Island zone. 15:34 to go here in the second half. And now they're going to say it was a push on the play, some sort of a foul, as the Huskies are going to take a direct kick. So it's almost like a corner kick. They're that close to the corner. 15:20 to go, and right now it's going to be DeBrito lining up to set things up. Here he goes. DeBrito sends a high liner in front, headed almost by Sullivan, headed out of bounds by Gustavo Gonzalez before Sullivan can get to it. So the Huskies are going to go all the way to the other side of the field, and they're going to try to take a corner kick. And the clock's running down, 15 minutes and 1 second to go here in the contest. This crowd is going to have to start rumbling pretty soon. They're going to have to start realizing the Huskies are going to be the champions of this region. They're leading 3-0, 7,400 fans on hand. The highest crowd ever for the Connecticut Huskies. And looking to take the corner kick is Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito's in a crowd on the far sideline, as there's a lot of Husky faithfuls standing up along the edge. And here's the kick. It's a low liner in front, kicked away by Murray. No chance to get to the Husky offense, and Murray's bringing it back the other way. Murray on the left sideline, but a pass intercepted by DeBrito. Connecticut bringing it back the other way. DeBrito, right sideline over for Jimmy Lyman. Lyman chips it in the middle for Cornolo. Cornolo controlling, shot, and it goes high. So Cornolo didn't quite settle that ball down before he kicked it. And a little bit of a problem there. So it's going to be a goal kick for Long Island. 14-13 to go, and the Huskies bringing the ball, or Huskies having the ball taken to them by Long Island, and the ball being controlled by number 14, Richard Chinapu. Chinapu with a throw-in on the near sideline. The senior All-American probably playing his last game unless there could be a miracle at Gardner Dow. Remember, that miracle at Coogan's Bluff was in Brooklyn. This team is from Brooklyn. If they hit a 3-run homer, it could be another miracle. But right now they're down by 3 goals. And they're controlling the ball in their own territory. George Turos dribbling the ball around, not really going anywhere with it, trying to penetrate the Husky defense. But the Huskies have probably been playing the best defense I have seen all year. And that's not an understatement, because they've had to, their forwards are coming back and playing some ball, and they're not really, they're coming back on the transition. Here's Carvalho, right sideline, kicks around Tim Maisley, kicked away by McSpiritt. He goes over to the end touchline, and it'll be a corner kick. But I believe the Huskies coming back on transition and really controlling the defense very, very well.
You couldn't put it any better, Harold. You know, we always made comments about their transition game and their defense. And at times it was very questionable about how well the defense played. But today, the Storrs connection, Maisley, Lyman, and Brubacher, unbelievable.
Chinapu with the corner kick, shot on goal, and it goes high over everything. Mauro Paglioni took the little shot there and it went over the goal, over the crossbar.
Not to mention sweeper back Charlie McSpiritt, who has been everywhere today. So the Storrs connection has really come through, and maybe just in time for this national championship coming up.
Elvis Comrie coming out of the game getting a nice round of applause, and I could swear I saw a little smile on the lips of Coach Joe Maroney. We'll have to see at the end of the game.
I don't think so.
This would be his first trip to the Final Four if the Huskies can hold a 3-goal lead, and if not, he might not be around next year. The Huskies with the 3-goal lead, 12 minutes, 23 seconds to go. Here's Eric Myron on a steal right around the middle of the field. He's fallen down, tripped from the behind by Gustavo Gonzalez, and the Huskies are going to set up a direct kick right outside the midfield stripe or the midfield circle. And the Huskies are taking their time. Jimmy Lyman puts the ball down. He's talking to Charlie McSpiritt about how many fans are in the crowd. And finally,
I could have swore he said that.
They decide to set things up. Jimmy Lyman now looking up, seeing where his Huskies are. He's almost wasted 30 seconds. He's like in a huddle for a football game. Now here goes Lyman with the kick. He chips it right around the middle of the field, and he goes past a few Huskies and off the chest of Marquez. Marquez sends it downfield for Norman Murray, and Murray for a speeding Mauro Paglioni as Long Island controlling the ball. Paglioni now gets interrupted by John Brubaker, who steals the ball and brings it back the other way. Brubaker rolls it all the way down and finally goes over the end line. Over the touchline, it'll be a throw-in for Long Island in front of the Connecticut bench.
Typical of the Husky defense, Brubaker on that last steal just took the ball away from Paglioni. And I tell you, they have just been playing super, and it's like forechecking, back-checking in hockey. They have met their men before they even have a chance to get started.
And we have a trip by Brubaker. Direct kick for Long Island. Clock running down, 11:11 to go. And a direct kick by Richard Chinipu. Chinipu on the right sideline for a streaking Norman Murray. Murray beats Jimmy Lyman to the ball, but Lyman takes the ball away, almost stolen by Paglioni. The ball goes all the way back to Jimmy Renehan. And the Huskies will start things up there with 10 minutes and 53 seconds remaining in the contest. And as we said, upcoming broadcast on the Sound Alternative. Wednesday, it's going to be UConn Husky basketball action as the Huskies are going to be playing New Hampshire. Thursday, it's going to be women's basketball versus Fordham, airtime at 6:25. Friday, it's going to be hockey versus Framingham at 7:25. Saturday, it's going to be men's basketball versus Boston University at 7:55. And also, whatever the Huskies can do out at the Final Four in Sanford, California, if everything goes well with all our plans, stay tuned to WHUS this week, and we'll see how far out our money will take us. Mark might be broadcasting from
a phone booth.
Colorado.
A phone booth built to a third party.
He might not get too far out to California. He might be in Colorado. But give him a nice pair of binoculars. Here's Lyman on a goal kick. 10 minutes, 3 seconds to go. Gets it right out to midfield. Myron gets a header right sideline over to Dorsanio. Now we have a race between Dorsanio and Kerry Babb. And Dorsanio wins the race. Dorsanio now mulls over. Babb controls the ball on the right sideline. Dorsanio sends a centering pass, but it quickly goes out of bounds before any Husky can touch it. And it's going to be a goal kick for Long Island. Less than 10 minutes to go. This contest all but belonging to the Connecticut Huskies. The Connecticut Blue looking to get their 18th win of the season and looking to make it 20 on the year when they go out to California. Wouldn't that be a nice round sum? 23-2. I think I'd like it.
Be a nice graduation present for me, too.
All right, now here's Andy Turos. Turos, goalkeeper, having to make a little save as his offense couldn't hold the ball for very long. This is Adam Laurie. Laurie on the right sideline getting it over to Seymour Elaine. Elaine almost having the ball stripped from Cornolo. Still keeps control of the ball. Passes over to teammate Richard Chinipu. And Chinipu slides one on the right sideline for Paglioni. That was stolen by Brubaker. Almost restolen and now restolen by Marquez. Marquez with the ball on the right sideline for the Blackbirds. Gets it over to Paglioni. Paglioni trying to get around Brubaker. Looking to get a centering pass somewhere along the line. They're trying to score at least one goal. Make the game respectable. Brubaker strips the ball away. And what a play! Brubaker coming back the other way. The crowd loves it. Sends a centering pass over to Sean Sullivan. Sullivan looking to go back to Cornolo. Stripped and it goes back to Carvalho. Carvalho right sideline to Chinipu. 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper. A beautiful play by Myron. He strips it. Paglioni shot save! Oh, what a play! As a lot of action. First it was Myron stripping the ball. Gets it over to Paglioni. Takes a shot on goal. And Renehan was there to make the save. The Huskies have kept control. They have kept the shutout. They have the 3-0 lead. 8 minutes and 21 seconds to go, and they have control of the ball. Right sideline, it's Charlie McSpiritt. McSpiritt now marching up his troops on the field. Gets it over to Dorsanio. Almost stripped away. Now it is stripped away. And Seymour Lane controls it right around the middle of the field. Cross-field pass for Marquez, and Marquez now putting on some speed as he comes toward the middle of the field. Marquez 1-on-1 with Cornolo, looking on the right sideline, trying to get it over to Carvalho, but he's going to take it all the way himself into the penalty area. Now slows things up. He's not really going anywhere with the ball. Now he goes towards the middle of the field one more time, gets around one Husky player, but there is Charlie McSpiritt, Mr. Dependable. He sends it downfield for Sean Sullivan. Can't quite make the connection, and Adam Laurie comes away with it. Laurie on the right sideline to Gonzalez. Gonzalez has control of the ball, trying to get around Sullivan. Sends it right around towards the middle of the play. A nice sliding tackle by Sullivan. And Sullivan's still going for the ball, and coming away with it is Tim Maisley. The Husky defense is holding. It's Maisley on the left sideline. He's streaking down, using that speed, trying to get around Chinapoo. Slows things down a bit, looking for someone to center the ball to. There's only Myron around the area. Now it's quickly centered over to number 4, John Brubaker. Brubaker chips it in for Myron, but he misses him completely, and Kerry Babb comes away with it. Babb sending it back to goalkeeper Andy Turos. 7 minutes and 10 seconds to go, and they're counting down as the ball goes out to the middle of the field.
Harold, although we only have 2 microphones, we hope to have the 6 seniors here. One way or another, we'll get to talk to them and get some impressions on their victory in their last game at Gardner Dow, and I'm sure we can work everything out. So stay tuned after 6:52 left in this soccer game.
And one more time, we'd like to thank Ray Dixon and the Caribbean Combo for letting us preempt him so many times this year, and it might be next week, too. Hopefully it won't be, because if they make the Final Four and they make it to that final game, the game might start at 4 o'clock. We might get lucky and not preempt him. And Jose might be listening and say, well, we'll be preempting him. But thank you again, Ray Dixon, because he's been a fine person in helping us bring you a UConn Husky soccer action. And if you can tune in anytime on Sunday from 1 to 4, please do so. Ray Dixon loves all the people to listen to him, call up and even make some requests. Here's Gustavo Gonzalez coming down the right sideline for Richard Chinapoo, and there's Eric Myron. And Myron playing a spectacular game on the defensive side, playing the midfield position. He clears the ball over the touchline. It'll be a throw-in for number 14, Richard Chinapoo of the Blackbirds. And he quickly gets the throw-in over to teammate Paglioni. Paglioni centers a pass in front, header, and it's right in front of the goal. The save by Renehan. What a play! Headed down by Carvalho, and Renehan just made that play as he just beat the ball before it went to the end line. And Carvalho has his hands on his hips. He's looking at the goal, and he's saying to himself, "What do I have to do to get that ball in the net?" Jimmy Renehan making another outstanding play. 5 minutes and 35 seconds to go, and Renehan booting the ball out.
Harold, that was just the opposite of the play we saw earlier where Charlie and Jimmy Renehan couldn't get their signal straight. Right there, Charlie let the ball go by because he knew Jimmy Renehan was there, and it's just so typical of how good the defense has played this afternoon.
Kerry Babb controlling on the left sideline. One-touch pass over to Norman Murray. Murray gets it back to teammate George Turos. Turos dribbles the ball around for a little bit, gets it over to Elaine. Elaine now sending pass to Murray, but cleared away by John Brubaker. High ball right around the middle of the area, and Seymour Elaine takes it for the Blackbirds.
At the next horn, we'll have Elvis Comrie and Billy Maroney checking in, and as you heard the public address in the background, we have 5 minutes to go in this soccer game.
Marquez controlling the ball right around the middle of the field, but not for long. He sends the ball all the way back to Richard Chinapoo. Chinapoo almost has it stolen. Now ball slid on the ground along for Paglioni, and Paglioni coming down the middle of the field for the Blackbirds. Paglioni going one-on-one with John Brubaker. Now gets it by Brubaker. One-touch pass. Paglioni gets it back. Cleared away by Maisley. Controlled by Sullivan. Sullivan kind of half bands on the ball, but he gets it out to Jim Dorsania. Dorsania going one-on-one with Gonzalez. Gonzalez makes a nice sliding tackle, and the Blackbirds come back the other way. Gonzalez trying to get around number 9, Graziano Cornolo. Cornolo comes away with the ball. The ball now being still fought for on the sideline. The ball now cleared out of bounds. Last touch by Cornolo, so it'll be a corner kick for the Blackbirds with 4 minutes and 13 seconds to go, and we have some substitutions.
Checking in Elvis Comrie and Billy Maroney. Checking out Sean Sullivan. He did an excellent job playing defensive forward. And the other man checking out of the Husky lineup, I can't see who it is right now, but I'll wait and see. Graziano Cornolo will take a breather, and he's got to be very happy with his performance today, as he was a big key in that first goal.
Turos with the corner kick headed away by Charlie McSpiritt, and the Huskies coming back the other way. Finally kept into play by Adam Laurie. The ball now bouncing high off the chest of Paglioni. Paglioni pass to Laurie. Laurie shot on goal. Field goal, but no goal. Anything that goes over the crossbars. And the Husky defense holds again. Time 3.5 minutes to go. And they're going to take the goal kick. They're going to take their time. Long Island is going to walk away and drive home a very long ride. They have to be very disappointed. They were the New York regional winners via a 1-0 victory over Columbia, but the Huskies have just swamped them today, 3-0, on goals by Cornolo, Sullivan, and Comrie. Comrie adding 2 assists to his 1 goal, and the Huskies have the 3-0 lead. Comrie probably the most valuable player for the contest. It was said a couple years ago that Comrie might not blend in with this University of Connecticut talent. He was too much of a one-on-one player, but he has proven everybody wrong. He has 16 assists and 13 goals, the leading scorer for the University of Connecticut Huskies, and they are leading 3-0 with 2 minutes and 46 seconds to go here into the game, and a very, very, very good chance of going on to Stanford, California. And Mark's packing his bags right now. This is Kerry Babb, right sideline, over to Mauro Paglioni. Paglioni loses the ball, now a collision, and Paglioni's looking to go at it with Carlos. Whistle on the play. Carlos is saying, I didn't touch you. And Paglioni losing his temper for just a little bit, almost threw a punch at Carlos. But Carlos is mighty happy. He's taking the trip. Paglioni won't be. Clock running down, 2:15, and they're still talking things over. Comrie now coming over, as Comrie likes to protect his own. The crowd now standing up. They're going on edge. And this could be it. This looks like it will be it.
2 minutes left in this soccer game, and I tell you, the Huskies lead this one 3-0 if you just tuned us in.
And right now, Chinapoo controlling the ball, whistle on the play, and we're going to have a yellow card, I believe, issued to Comrie as a man fell on the play as Comrie pushed down Marquez after he passed the ball away. It's a go. Renehan dribbling it twice. Now kicking the ball high up in the air. It's going towards the middle of the field. It's settled off the foot of Jim Dorsanio. He gets it back to Long Island. Every player, every fan here in the stadium is on their feet, and it's Elvis Comrie hugging Coach Joe Maroney on the sideline.
Less than 1 minute to play.
Less than a minute to play here at Gardner Dow Field. Eric Swallow, the whole Husky team is up. The ball centered in front, controlled by Murray, and cleared away by Charlie McSpiritt. The whole place is going crazy. You're going to see some sort of action on this field as Comrie's still embracing Coach Joe Maroney. They're going to be going to Stanford, California, 36 seconds. Controlling the ball. Marquez on the right sideline gets a pass over to Murray. Murray coming in towards the penalty area. Shot on goal. Renehan gets the ball off his chest. Saved by number 2, Tim Maisley. 24 seconds. Ball kept in by Chinapoo. Controlled by Carvalho. Left side over to number 8, Turos. Turos gets it back to his teammate, but stripped away by Myron. 10 seconds in this contest. It's Dorsanio with the ball. 8 seconds. The crowd's going wild. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and the chip one belongs to the Connecticut Huskies. It'll be UCONN in the Final Four in Stanford, California. The final score from Gardner Dow Field in Storrs, Connecticut. Connecticut 3 and Long Island 0, and the fans are now coming onto the field, 7,400 strong.
We'll be back to wrap this one up. The final score, once again, UConn 3, LIU nothing. We'll be back to wrap it up after this 60-second timeout. We're going to get some of the seniors up here and give them a talk to. There's 6 seniors on this squad, but Harold, let's go over the scoring statistics and some upcoming broadcasts we'll have for you here on WHUS.
Okay, 7,400 fans on hand today to witness the University of Connecticut defeating the Long Island University Blackbirds by the score of 3-0. They broke a lot of jinxes. The first time they ever scored in quarterfinal action, the first time they've ever won in quarterfinal action. They're going to be taking their second trip in 1 year out to Stanford, California. The first time they went out there, it wasn't too good. They lost 2 out of 3. This time they hope to turn the tables, turn the tide. Right now, let's go over to scoring. The Huskies opened up very, very quickly into this game. 1 minute and 33 seconds into the contest. Graziano Cornolo scored off a beautiful pass by Elvis Comrie. Comrie stripped the ball from a LIU player on the left sideline, came in and sent a nice sliding pass right in front for Graziano Cornolo. Cornolo took it with his left foot, chipped it into the lower left-handed corner. Cornolo's 14th goal of the year from Elvis Comrie, whose 15th assist. It was Connecticut 1 and Long Island 0. Then it was Sean Sullivan. Sullivan coming up with his 5th goal of the season, again assisted by Elvis Comrie. Another good play by Comrie. It was a corner kick was sent on the far sideline, and it was with 26:56 to go. Right now, Coach Joe Maroney being dampered on with all the champagne as the Huskies really celebrating it up on the sideline. They don't look like they're coming to talk to us. We'll see what happens. As we said, Sullivan with his 5th goal of the season, making the score 2-0 at the end of the half. Then it was Elvis Comrie. Comrie scoring his first goal of the game, but also after 2 assists. Just a brilliant day for the senior, and he who hails, as a matter of fact, from Brooklyn, New York. So he's playing a team that against a team that comes right from his hometown area. Comrie with his 13th goal of the season from Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito getting his 18th assist at the 5 minute and 18-second mark of the into the second half, and the final score was Connecticut 3 and Long Island University 0. And let's go over some upcoming broadcasts here on the Sound Alternative. This Wednesday evening, it's going to be UConn Husky basketball action. The Huskies are going to be playing New Hampshire, and that'll be a home game starting airtime at 7:55 on the Sound Alternative. After that, we have action on Thursday night. It's going to be women's basketball as the Lady Huskies are going to be taking on Fordham, airtime 6:25 on WHUS. And then Friday, it's going to be Framingham with some hockey action out of Storrs, Connecticut. That game is going to be starting at 7:25. And, of course, Saturday, not only will we have, hopefully, this UConn Husky soccer action, we are also going to have Boston University men's basketball action that night at 7:55. So there's going to be a lot of sports on this Sound Alternative, and hopefully we'll be able to send people out. And if you're listening now and you think you can help us out financially, if you want to send us a couple of donations, we can surely use it, because let me tell you, we're going to have a little bit of problem sending out broadcaster Mark Boudreau out to do these games. But if you're interested in UConn Husky soccer action and you like what we do and you possibly want to send us a few donations, get out a pad and pen, and we're going to give you a address to write down to come in and give us any donation that you could possibly give us. It's WHUS Sports. WHUS Sports Box U-8, Storrs, Connecticut, and the zip is 06268. WHUS Sports Box U-8, Storrs, Connecticut, and the zip is 06268. And we're going to have our first player from the seniors making their way from the celebration that they have. Here's Pedro DeBrito. DeBrito having a very fine game today, assisting on that final goal. Pedro, you're going out to California for the second time. What do you think?
It's nice and warm down there.
Will it be warmer than the last time you went down?
Yeah,
Pedro, did you think it would be this easy?
So people, what happened last time was a mistake, So we're just going to go over there, and we got a chance to go all the way, so we're going to try to do it.
Do you think Long Island was going to be that easy?
They talk a lot of stuff in the paper, and that's what pissed me off. Everybody, last night we read all this stuff in the paper, and everybody got pretty psyched about that, Well, I was real pissed the way you talk, the way you say stuff about us. We were slow and stuff like that. That bothered me, bothered everybody,
Well, I'm sure it bothers them more now in the long run, as you're going to be going out to California, and they're not going to be going out to California.
Got Graziano Cornolo standing here. Grass, the first goal, it came 1 minute and 30 seconds. It didn't take long. Do you think it was going to come that easy? I tell you, you guys look psyched.
I'll tell you, I saw I was going down that wing, and the stopper, the guy that was marking me, just went for him, and I just hang in the middle. It was a nice ball in, one touch to the end. Went in.
You guys on the offense seemed to really click today. Was any special potent? Was it the fans? 7,400 on hand.
I tell you, that helps a lot. When you get the ball, you put it up, and you hear the fans cheering. It gets that little extra to get you going. It was a great win. It was a great game, and
everybody.
Let's do it up in Florida.
I look forward to seeing you guys in California. Pedro, anything on your last game here at Gardner Dow for the fans?
Hey, I love this. I love the fan down here. I love this field. I don't want to leave, but that's how it is,
You got to go sooner or later. Hey, thanks a lot for stopping by.
Thank you, Pedro. Thank you, Graziano. You guys played a great game. Good luck in California. Bring home a winner. And, of course, the Huskies now going on to play Eastern Illinois in the first-round action of the Final Four. And the winner of that one will be playing the winner of who knows who comes out of that other contest. Of course, Philly Textile playing Indiana today, along with Western Virginia playing Alabama A&M. The Huskies have a chance to play some teams that they've already played before, as 3 of those 4 teams I just mentioned they have played during the regular season. And the records versus those teams were 1-1-1, so they have a chance to come back and do some extra damage. We're now waiting to see if anyone else can make their way up to the booth.
Yeah,
there.
looks like Jimmy Lyman's going to come up. He's got a little champagne on his head there. He's putting on a warm-up jacket, and we're going to get a chance to talk to Mr. Defense, part of that Storrs connection. And if we get him by everybody, as he looks very happy.
And he's still getting hugged all the way up. These Huskies are going crazy.
Marty.
7,400. Marty Dabrowski bringing in Jimmy Lyman. And Jimmy,
and he's
still getting congratulated. Jimmy Lyman.
Oh,
Jimmy, you played a fine game today. 3-0 victory, and it was a little bit easier than you guys thought, huh?
What'd you say?
he must have been drinking too much already. A little bit easier than you thought today, huh?
Well, I tell you, we came up so fired up. We came out and we knew we were gonna beat them. The home crowd, tons of people here. We walked on the field. We saw the field was just packed with people. We said, there's no way these guys are going to beat us. There's no way.
Coach Ramirez in the Daily News this week said that the UConn defense was a bit shaky.
Yeah, we read that. We read that article last night, and the coach told us about it. And we just said, we're gonna show those guys. We came out, and we're fired up just like last week, and there's no one's going to beat us when we come out like that. There's no way.
Okay, what are you looking for at the Final Four?
Yes.
What are you looking for?
What are we looking for? We're looking to win this year, I'll tell you. Like we did today, we're going to win.
Anything for the fans? It's your last game as a senior. You've been here a long time.
Everybody that comes here, I tell you, I've been playing here for 4 years, and it's unbelievable. Unbelievable here. The fans are the greatest.
Jim, we wish you the best of luck out the Final Four. We'll be there, and good luck. I hope the scouts are there. You get a good look, and hopefully some pro soccer.
It's important for everybody, It's not just for the seniors, but for everybody.
All righty. Good enough.
Thanks a lot. Congratulations. Good luck again. So we've gotten 3 of them up here. 3 UConn Huskies. Marty Dabrowski doing a fine job just corralling them up here.
Well, Marty's offering free beer, so if you offer free beer, you can get everybody up here. The Husky dog now making his way up to see Andy Young as he is barking into the PA. And we are awaiting Marty Dabrowski. We'll be patient here for a few seconds as we're hopefully that Marty can get up Carlos up here, and Charlie McSpiritt, the captain, and Joe Tomaselli. How you doing, Joe?
Husky dog.
That big there, Husky dog, What do you... I tell you can't get anybody better than that. Joe Tomaselli, part of the HUS staff, glad to have him aboard as we are awaiting some of the seniors, and hopefully we're going to get Carlos, and Charlie McSpiritt up here as soon as they are done talking to the press. All of a sudden, they are mobbed.
We are the press.
Oh, we are the other half.
And I'll tell you what, we'll be waiting to try to see if we get these guys. But let's take a little bit of a break, and we'll be back with hopefully somebody else from the University of Connecticut team is going out to the Final Four. And we'll be back to see if we can talk to Charlie McSpiritt or some others right after this. Good one, Tommy, baby.
What about that defense?
We always play good defense. We play defense.
Well, I don't know. Coming into the game, the coach Ramirez had said a few things about the UConn defense, and he's not the guy with the purple champagne stains today. It's you.
No, our defense has always been all year, and we showed it to that coach that no shots on goal.
Charlie, you look psyched up. I don't know if it's because it's your last game here. You're captain of the squad. You seem like a team leader. At times, you were up there on that offense playing some unbelievable offense. At times, you made some super saves in the second half. Why? Why today?
Psyched. Final Four, California.
You gonna do it all?
Like that all the time, and sometimes it shows you play like that. Other times you don't see it, but geez, it's great.
We read in the paper this week. They said, "Is this going to be the year for UConn?" You said, "Why not? Is this going to be the year for all the way?"
Yeah, all the way.
Charlie, you're too soft-spoken for that. You deserve a big congratulations. We're glad, and we'll be out there in California with you. And just a super job.
Thanks a lot.
Another guy up here, another senior, Carlos. Look at these guys. We got them embracing in front of us. Thanks, Joe.
Carlos, you almost got into the last fight of the year. It was something down there. You almost had a punch before you even threw up your hands.
I just came in hard on the tackle, and they started swinging, so I just backed off.
A great game today. The team winning 3-0. Very, very easy. I'm sure you didn't expect this going into the game.
Before the game, we read the papers, and their coach was overconfident, saying that they were a better team and stuff, and that psyched us even more than what we were already, and we wanted to prove to them that we were the better team. And they came over here. We're tough over here at home, and we haven't lost in almost 2 years, and so we played excellent today. I guess to win the first half, we scored 2 goals. That's what we really wanted, and then the second half was just all downhill. We just had to hold on and play for another goal.
This was pretty much, excuse me, Mark, this was pretty much the grudge match. You guys already played 2 times earlier, once in the indoor tournament and once in an exhibition game in the spring. You've seen these teams before. Did that help you at all in preparation for today's game?
We knew what they could do, and they played the offside trap all the time, and we knew they were very skillful. But we knew if we played as a team and we played together as we have done the whole year, we'd come out all right, like we did. So.
Oh, do you think it was going to be this easy? You came out, you scored 2 first-half goals. They didn't really put much pressure on.
It wasn't that easy, even though we scored the 2 goals. We just got a quick goal right off the bat. It was 43 minutes left in the first half. We already had a goal, and it was really exciting for us, and that really brought us up. We were really fired up before the game, and when we scored the first goal, forget it. Everybody went nuts. So, but then we kept tugging away, and we were against the wind. So it really helped us with that 1 goal right away. So we broke out, and we scored another one. So that was
A super effort, that's for sure. You've been a spark plug on this team. You're a senior. Your last game at home, you have anything for the fans? You're a favorite here, and I mean, the fans just love you, and you've got to at least have something to say.
I tell you, these fans are the greatest. There's no way any other fans can be like the UConn fans. That they just love everything you do. If you hustle out here, they love you. And I really want to thank all the fans from UConn, even though a lot of people are here and they're not on the radio listening to it, but I just want to thank everybody for coming and cheering us all this year and all the 4 years I've been here.
All right, super, Carlos. We'll see you in California. Good luck, and thanks a lot for coming up.
We have two more, the offensive and the defensive stars of the game. Jim Renehan, the goalkeeper, played probably one of his greatest games of his career, and this year one of his one of his best games in making saves left and right. And Mr. Elvis Comrie, who had 2 assists and 1 goal, did it all for the offense for the Connecticut Huskies. Jim, congratulations.
Thanks a lot, Harold. We all feel great. It was a team effort. We worked so hard for this for 4 years, for 6 of us, and we had confidence we could do it. And finally today we did it after not doing it last year and the years before.
Jimmy, you got a quick goal out there. Did that give you a chance to have a little breathing room on the defense?
Yeah, that was great, man. When we got a goal against the wind, it just helped set the tempo of the game and got them a little, nervous that they had to score, right away. And us, we knew that we got a goal against the wind, we could do it because we played in conditions like this at Penn State and against good teams like this. So we knew that we could, if they scored even, we could come back. It was no problem. But we had them on the run a little bit at the beginning.
It was pretty cold out today. The wind was blowing. Do you think the weather helped you just a little more than them? A lot of those players coming from down under in foreign countries.
I don't know. It didn't bother me. And I don't know if it bothered them or not, to tell you the truth. I don't care.
Do you think this was the best defensive effort for the season for the Huskies? You guys looked awesome, even when they had good chances. You were there.
It's hard to say best, but it's up there. Our defense played fantastic. They held them. No one beat them, dribbling, anything. Hardly any hard shots on goal. If they did, it went over. They played great. It was at least one of the best.
Well, we tried to get all the seniors up here, and we'd like to, give them a chance to, say what's on their mind. This is, the last of the road, at least for the home games for you. What do you look forward, and what do you have to say about the past 4 years?
These 4 years have been great. Doing this just tops it all off. We've worked really hard out here. We came so close last year with a team that we all thought was going to do it. We all thought we had it made, and we didn't. And now making them now, it tops it off. I'll always be able to look back on this, something, a great achievement by our whole team.
Super, and you got a little ways to go, and I'm sure you're going to have a lot of people back home pushing for you and a few out there, too. So we wish you the best of luck, Jim, and thanks for coming up here. Save me a little of that champagne.
Thanks a lot, Jim. And we have the best for last, at least today's game, probably the most valuable player for today's game. 2 assists and 1 goal, his 13th goal and 15th and 16th assists of the year. Elvis Comrie, a very cold player right now. Elvis, you played a great game.
Well, I just had to contribute to our team, people got to come through, and I just had to be lucky enough to come through for our team this game, and I'm just happy I did, Guys play brilliant together. We play brilliant all year long as a team, which has been important, Key players like Charlie, Jim Renehan, John Brubaker, they've been key players, and they've played key roles this year. And just having to put it together, we played brilliant. Today was just a great way to go out. End your last game here at UConn. It's brilliant.
The team seems to be clicking right now, and it's probably the best time ever to be clicking going into the Final Four. You played great versus Vermont. Today it seemed pretty easy playing Long Island. What do you expect from some of the teams that you're going to be playing against? Of course, you played Philly Textile in Indiana.
One at a time, We're just going to go to California, prepare for Eastern Illinois, and just play them like we play every other team. Hard, good defense, and just capitalize on our opportunities.
Last time you went to California, you guys kind of forgot what the offense was, only scoring 1 goal in 3 games.
Well, we went out there before. We've seen the scenery, and I think we're going to go out there and do the business this time, We were kind of, looking around and paying attention to things besides soccer, but we're going to go out there and go down to business.
I like it. I like it.
Stick it to him.
I tell you, congratulations today, Elvis, and we'll see you out there. And,
right.
Just the best of luck to you guys. You have a lot of people pushing for you. You had a lot here today.
I just want to say one more thing. I want to wish all the UConn fans, I want to just tell the UConn fans they're the best in the country. And if it wasn't for them, we wouldn't be here right now.
Super.
Without their support, we wouldn't be here at all, I'm telling you.
All right.
It's been a great 4 years, and fans are key up here,
Hey, they enjoy watching you guys play some good soccer, so thanks a lot for stopping by, Elvis. We've had all 6 seniors with the help of 3 or 4 different people. We'd like to thank Joe Tomaselli and Marty Dabrowski for running around like crazy people, and Patricia Welch went out there and flashed her baby blues and
We have the whistling in the background. California, here we come. That's about it from Gardner Dow Field. Once again, the final score. The Connecticut Huskies, the winners of the region, 3, Long Island University 0. Thanks for listening to Connecticut Soccer Action on WHUS. Our next sports broadcast will be this Wednesday when the Connecticut Husky basketball team will face New Hampshire from Storrs, Connecticut at 7:55. Our next soccer broadcast will be sometimes next week from Stanford, California, Palo Alto, the Final Four, as the Huskies will be playing Eastern Illinois in the first of the semifinal round games. And we're not exactly sure what the airtime is going to be. Stay tuned to WHUS this week to find out. Connecticut Husky Soccer Action on WHUS Storrs has been made possible in part through very generous underwriting grants from Subway footlong sandwiches, Holiday Spirits, University Pizza, Nice Trail Incorporated Family Fashion Center, the South Windsor Dairy Queen, Ted's Restaurant, Cheese and Things, and the UConn Friends of Soccer. Our technical director has been Tom Boland, and our help in the field, Joe Tomaselli and Marty Dabrowski. Thanks for them. So, for everyone here, along with my broadcast partner, Mark Boudreau, this is Harold Darak in my final soccer broadcast saying so long from Gardner Dow Field. UConn Soccer is an exclusive presentation of WHUS Sports. The UConn Athletics covered completely, extensively, and exclusively on WHUS Storrs, the sound alternative. The operation of WHUS is subsidized by the undergraduate student government of the University of Connecticut.